How's it going, everybody? I'm Josh from Josh Key Film. Today I wanted to talk about something for the people who are going to be hiring a videographer. Maybe you're doing business promo, maybe it's for a wedding, whatever the case may be. But I wanted to talk about the things that you should know and do when working with your videographer. So I want to start off with a simple one, but it ties up things more than you might think, and that is simply know what you want. There are so many cases that I have gone to jobs and people have just asked me to come make a video. And while that's all well and good, and maybe, the videographer will take that as a chance to be super creative, when they are a professional videographer and they need to have a workflow figured out, this is the ultimate slow start on getting that stuff done. When a client doesn't know what they want, that means that we have to show up on the day and just make it all up on the fly, doing what I often call guerrilla style. And the problem is when you shoot guerrilla style, you're basically just pointing a camera at a bunch of stuff. Maybe you think of some shots on the fly and you just make it all up, like I said. The problem here comes later in the edit, which usually means you have a ton of footage that we have to go through over and over again, trying to find the good parts, trying to make this into some sort of cohesive video for you. And this is what doubles, triples, and quadruples our editing time, which is frustrating for us. And if the videographer knows what they're doing, well, it's gonna cost more to you because that's more of our time. Because as I say to my clients all the time, what I spend here with you on site and this camera is going to be triple the amount in editing. So that already triple amount has been tripled because you didn't know what you want and we had to make it up on the spot. So tying into that first point, my second one is be involved in the planning. Your videographer is probably going to have locations in mind. He's going to have ideas of shots. And if you're involved in the planning and you collaborate together, that usually means that you wind up with a plan for the day. On one of my more recent projects, my client showed up with scripts, general ideas. We just had to come up with the locations together pretty much, but they had a guide to follow. What that becomes basically is your to-do list, and you work through that list, get what you need, and you're done. So not only does that help your shooting day go faster, that also is going to help me in the edit because that now becomes my guide, not only for editing, but for workflow, allowing me to prioritize, say maybe you want, this longer video first, or maybe you want these quick promo videos first. And having that planned out beforehand is going to be so much better than doing things guerrilla style, as mentioned before. Now, some things you can do to be involved in the planning: one, just constant email communication. The other things are apps like Milanote is a popular one. Even something as silly as just making a Google Doc that you can both edit together. Just don't let this be an email, hey, show up on this day. I show up on that day, and then I have to figure it out. Because that means you're gonna be paying me more for doing more. The third point I wanna bring up is simply understand why things cost the way they do. Now, I'm speaking more from the perspective of working with a one-man operation like myself. So that means that I am everything in the production. I am your cameraman, I am your lighting tech, I am your sound tech, I am your editor, I am your color grader, I am your sound engineer. So you should understand that is why things are gonna cost how much they cost, is because I've taken on 8 to 10 roles that, say, in a big movie production, each of those would be somebody's job. So when you're getting, quotes from even one-man operation like me, if you see our work and like our work and you're reaching out to us and you kind of scoff at our price, well, understand that it's not just pointing a camera at something. It is so much more. I wish I would have had people with me on my last job. Just in the amount of stuff I was carrying around to make this work, I think I could just get major points for that, just for the level of pack mule I had achieved on this one shoot. And so this also goes if you are working with a production team. Now you have to understand that all of those roles involved in creating this video for you are a person's job. There are 5 jobs, so you're probably paying for 5 people's worth. So that's just something to consider as well. Understand how much we are putting into things and that's why we charge what we do. Number 4, be clear with your deadlines. This might seem like a bit of a silly point, but I have come across this in the past where I didn't know how quickly a client wanted something. I showed up, did the shoot, it was great, people seemed happy, and then normally what happens is I go to work immediately, which is good if you can do it. Getting something done quick and getting it out to them is quick is good, but that also might mean you're hindering the quality because a rush job might not be a good job. So if you do work with a videographer and this is something you need right away, please make that clear, because that means that we are going to have to shuffle around other projects that we're doing, because we normally have 5 to 10 on the go, and you might have to be making that as a consideration of price. And this also goes the opposite way. If you have time on these things, let us know, because that means we can either adjust our schedules accordingly and work on more pressing ones, or we can take our time on your project, because I can speak from experience that being able to do an edit on something, leave it for a couple days and come back will usually result in us catching something that we didn't see before in the moment. It's the old standing too close to an elephant situation. When you're locked in on something, you don't see the bigger picture and you sometimes don't see the mistakes. So let us know what your deadlines are, because if we have a lot of time to work, that means that we're going to deliver a more succinct and polished product for you. And that's not only good for you, it's good for us, because we're putting out our product too. We are putting these things out to the world, and what we produce is a reflection of us and not just you as the person we are making the video for. The final point I want to make about working with your videographers is to simply build good relationships with them. If you're truly committing to video promotion in your business, which is a smart idea because that's everything these days, you are going to need a videographer more often than you think. Whether this means that, hey, maybe you eventually hire somebody in-house, or you work with, an independent on a consistent basis, you do want to make sure your relationship with them is good. Because if you are the person who just, throws work, says, get us done, and you never speak to us again, well, then you're just a one-off to us. We're probably not even going to be trying to reach out to work with you again. When we have people who are a pleasure to work with, we want to work with you more. It's not always just about the money. Sometimes working with someone who is excited about working with us is what gets us through the day, is what makes us excited to work on your project. And when we're excited about your project, we're invested in your project, and we make you something better. That's the case with a couple of my clients. We show up on set and we nerd out about video games or something. There's rapport, there's actual fun happening, and not just, straight to the matter at hand. With a couple of my clients, the subject matter of, their businesses sometimes bores me to tears, but because they are a joy to work with, I show up energetic, happy to be there, happy to work for them. So remember, even just showing up, being happy to do this project together will get us a lot farther than you might think. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a thing I've been thinking about for a little while, and I was kind of happy to share my thoughts on this. So if you enjoyed this video and enjoy kind of these topical videos on stuff, if you have any suggestions for other things you'd like to hear from me, leave me a comment, send me a message in all the places. There's about 18 of them these days. And if you enjoy seeing what I do, please subscribe to the channel, and there's going to be more stuff on the way soon. And again, thank you for watching so much. I'm Josh from Josh T Films, and I will see you on the next one.